Biden administration has united Americans against its administration, and it has this incident has ironically created bipartisanship on this issue, because no American, whether Democrat or Republican, wants an overreaching Department of Justice. We even see Andrew Cuomo and Andrew Yang speaking out about this. The silence of the Biden administration and the FBI is deafening. Americans are listening and watching.
Andrew Yang talks a lot about robots, and it's because he is a robot. He's trying to take all our human jobs, including president. And if we don't stand up for ourselves, the robots are going to take over. The robots are going to take over.
Andrew Yang is making waves this week for his signature political tactic of not really being super coherent. So I appreciated Yang to an extent. I think the work he did in popularizing the concept of a universal basic income was great for the country, and was really impressed by the coalition of smart, passionate, empathetic young people his campaign assembled. But the same problem that plagued his campaign continues to plague him as an independent political figure to this day, and that is, what is your plan exactly? And I'm not even trying to be snarky. I genuinely want to understand how he can look at our current American political system and think that his ideas would work or be beneficial in any real way, shape, or form. Folks online were pretty rattled by his recent tweet about the raid on Mar-a-Lago. So here's what he wrote. I'm no Trump fan. I want him as far away from the White House as possible. But a fundamental part of his appeal has been that it's him against a corrupt government establishment. This raid strengthens that case for millions of Americans who will see this as unjust persecution. So to me, this isn't like an outlandish take. He's merely saying one perception of the raid at Mar-a-Lago could be to rile up the right so much that Trump ends up garnering huge support, thus pushing him to win the presidency again in 2024. And I don't necessarily agree with that. I think it will and has riled up the right for sure. In another video this week, I'm talking a little bit more about that, but I don't think it could propel him all the way to a presidential victory. I was pretty skeptical about the efficacy of the January 6th hearings and whether the public would care, but it's clear they have to a large extent. So while Yang's take isn't unique or really original, it's very surprising coming from someone who was recently on the stage as a member of the Democratic Party and did surprisingly well in his campaign. An opinion like this is pretty bold, but of course, there's a motive here. It's called the Forward Party, a coalition of centrists founded by Yang as a third-party alternative to Democrats and Republicans. And look, I would give my soul for the US to have a viable third party, but a party made up of centrists? What are you talking about? We have a party of centrists. It's called the Democratic Party. They wrote, quote, "The United States badly needs a new political party, one that reflects the moderate, common sense majority. Today's outdated parties have failed by catering to the fringes. As a result, most Americans feel they aren't represented." The press release then goes on to talk about how they have some big political leaders involved, like former governors and congressmen and congresswomen involved. And okay, so this is true that the division in our country is at an all-time high and we don't feel adequately represented, but we literally got to this point because of centrist establishment inaction. Yang and his ilk are trying to reinvent the wheel by literally reinventing the same exact wheel. And his tweet response shows how serious he is taking his idea. We on the left know that the best way to bring the country together is to have material policies that actually really improve people's lives, while centrists, on the other hand, just want everyone to get along and think they can do so without putting in any legislation. We all know that this party is going to flounder and fizzle out, and we'll have forgotten about it probably before the next election. Obviously, I'm super cynical about Yang's move and bitter, because what I liked about him and what I think garnered his impressive base of support were his policies like UBI that were progressive and cut through centrist BS like means testing for policies. He took the totally wrong lessons from his campaign, and it's sad because had he gone deeper into those progressive policies that made him popular, maybe we could be looking at a viable third party for the first time in any of our lifetimes. Thanks so much for watching. You can follow me on all platforms at Caro Johnson 917.